have a couple of guests on, CJ and Amanda from Shoppaign. They're a new reselling app. I got them on. They're going to explain what services they provide to people and how they can help you. Welcome aboard, CJ and Amanda.
Hey,
Hello.
Daniel. Thank you.
Yes.
If you don't
Uh,
mind, just kind of go ahead and give everybody a rundown of what Shoppaign is and how they can help, how you can help resellers.
Sure, you bet. And thank you very much for having us on the Reseller Podcast. We were really happy to make your acquaintance. And just quickly before we get into Shoppaign, I was attracted by your Pantera T-shirt, which that's I don't know if I could say the podcast, but Cowboys from Hell is great song from way back.
Yes, that's one of my favorite metal bands. I mean, I absolutely love them. If I know I'm going to have a bad day at work or I'm anticipating a bad day at work, I'll put on Walk and just jam in all the way in to work.
That's awesome. Great. Well, again, we're excited to be here. So one of the co-founders of Shoppaign, which is Shopping Campaign. And this is Amanda Lamarty. She's the director of brand strategy, and she'll tell you a little bit about the journey that we've had on the marketing side. But we have another co-founder, Joel McGraw, who's not here today. He's based in Hermosillo, Texas, Mexico. And we are, an international company. Joel and I, we have a background of working together on a large range of projects, and we were finishing a project and we wanted to continue working together. And we looked at what opportunities were best suited for us. And this was during COVID, and obviously e-commerce was at the top of their mind. And I'm not really a strong e-commerce seller. And I think that's one of my strengths for, leading this, because we're not doing it the same way as everyone else. And Joel comes from a really technical background and sort of, I would say he likes to call himself punk. But, with tech, I feel for myself that I'm not a part of tech. I don't have a lot of social media out of privacy concerns, out of feeling like I'm a small fish in a really big pool. And I think the benefits of tech is that everyone can be a big fish in a big pool. Another kind of feature that led us to wanting to do Shoppaign is e-commerce is huge. It's a huge market. But there's a lack of personal attention. There's a lack of community. I think that some of the other platforms take for granted that they are there for their sellers and buyers and community. And, there are a lot of algorithms that, if you don't stay on top of it or you don't post every day, then they penalize you for that.
Yeah.
That's not fair, I think. We have a story of somebody that we're working with on the platform, and they're trying to build out their brand. And they spoke about the fact that if they didn't post one day on the platform, they lost their following. They had to start rebuilding that traction. So in essence, Shoppaign, we started with the slogan, e-commerce in focus. We want to be able to give people really personal experience, not just throughout the US, but throughout every market. We want to connect people on a really local level. And I think tech should be a tool for extracting wealth out of communities. We should be bringing wealth into communities. And I think another important element is that as you build a business in e-commerce, there shouldn't be a fear that, us as a platform, we're going to change our algorithm. We're going to use your, the business that you've built on the sweat of your own back to get our traction. You build your business, and our job is to support you and help you grow it. And that's there for as long as you work it. You get your followers, you get your following, you build your market. We don't have any intention, and this is going to stay true for our company. You get to keep that. It's a lot of times people build these businesses and then they get taken away by, platforms taking white label. So we're about community. We're about a fair and equal playing field. And we're here for our sellers and resellers. Manu, do you want to just jump in a little bit on that, and we can talk a little bit more about the actual platform itself?
Yeah, and I think like as far as the marketing side, we're kind of like, it's ironic because we're creating this platform where it's equal play. Once you're on there, you don't have to worry about like all these new algorithms messing things up for you. But we're also experiencing, to even get people on our platform, we obviously have to use traditional social media to market ourselves. And we're finding it just as a struggle. So it's kind of just reinforcing the like need for this platform to support small businesses. Because I myself, like I'm a freelancer. I also have tried to do several e-commerce kind of ventures, and it's the same thing. I like put all my effort, time, and energy into just trying to grow social media just to get people to see, what I'm selling. So.
And here's a cool thing about our site, Daniel, is that we actually are incorporating social media into Shoppaign. So when you go on there, as we continue to grow, you will be able to do all of your marketing on the same site that you do your sales and your buying. So you don't have to go off and manage 4 or 5 sites. We're going to put it there for you.
Yeah, that that is a struggle on our end as well. You have all the platforms. Excuse me. You got all the platforms that you got to try to post to and get your name out. I'm sorry, I'll cut this out. But you got all the platforms that you got to post to and share and like, and I mean it is a mess. And as far as the algorithms go, that's one thing me and my wife were talking about. It's like, why am I not selling on this platform? It's the same darn post on this one and this one and this one, and I haven't had a sale over here in a month, and I don't know what's going on with that.
And honestly, trying to manage it is like a full-time job in itself, like just trying to stay relevant on all these platforms, learn new platforms. Like TikTok's a huge thing right now. You got to learn how to make these videos and stay relevant. So it's a headache, honestly.
Yeah, you bringing up TikTok. I adamantly fought against anything on TikTok. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Then I broke down the other day, about a week ago, and got one. So now I'm trying to learn that one.
Yeah, it's like one of the like top, like I think now it's like the top site, and people are to sell on there. Like a lot of people are selling. They have like swipe up features now. So it's like, how can you not if you're selling? Like you have to stay in the game, really.
Well, and that's why we have Shoppaign. And here's another, I think, a point. I go on to these sites, to look and see what we can do better. I don't feel that right now with a lot of social media that you can really be yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
you're right about that.
And we want that on Shoppaign. We are not going to censor people. We want an open platform. I think that good open communication, as long as it's done in a safe and respectful manner, is good. We don't want anyone to feel that they need to be censored on Shoppaign. We can't have bullying. We can't have people, doing things that are causing harm or illegal. But, progress is discussion. Progress is diversity. And as many people are using e-commerce today, I think there are actually more people who aren't because they don't feel like they're welcome.
Yeah.
I definitely don't fit into the social media group. I'm not a dancer, and some people say I can sing well, but I can't sing well. But it doesn't matter what you do. It matters what makes you feel good, what makes you happy, what is productive for you. And that should be supported by the technology. I shouldn't be dictating, or we as Shoppaign shouldn't be dictating the trends. We shouldn't be, saying, all right, we like this or that. That's for our community. And we can have several different communities. In Shoppaign, it doesn't have to just be one trend. There can be real groups that are totally separate, that are doing their own thing, and it's not going to be affected by what somebody else is doing over here, or what's causing traction over here. We're not in this to keep people trapped on our site. In fact, our social media manager said, well, how are you guys going to incentivize people to stay on your site, like other sites? They have to do X, Y, and Z. And the answer is we're not. And we don't have investors right now, and even when we do, that's probably going to rule out a lot of investors, because we're not going to do that. We're not going to say, you've got to be on the site for 4 hours today, and you've got to, tweet your products.
Mhm.
Do as you will. You can be as successful as you want to be, and you won't. Which brings us to our pricing. And this, I think, is a real benefit to the users. And Daniel, anytime you have any questions,
Okay.
Amanda, and when the rest of the team hopefully comes on your podcast, they'll tell you I talk a lot. So you got to just
Oh,
cut me
you're
off.
fine. You're fine. You're fine. I'll ask when they come up.
So our pricing is, I think, a reinforcement of all those principles that we're talking about. So for product campaigns, resellers, whether it's newer resellers, you don't pay any commission.
Mhm.
So in 30 days, if you sell less than $100 in that month, because people are going to need traction, you also want to go on vacation. Say you're a top seller on Shoppaign in a year from now, and you want to go on vacation, and you don't sell anything that month. There are no charges. When you get over $100 in sales, we charge you $9.95. That's it. You could sell $1 million that month
And
on your
9.95.
channel, and
Yep.
we're going to sell you $9.95.
Wow. 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 Is it a do you sign up for the service and then after that, or how do that?
You sign up for the site. It's totally free. You start selling. We'll just charge you
Gotcha.
once you hit $100.
Then,
Okay.
yeah, your balance and your transactions.
Yep,
Oh.
and it'll come out of your that transaction, that qualifying transaction. We'll
Mhm.
hit that. We'll hit that 9.95. It'll come out of it, and if it's a multiple, we'll take it till it comes out. But I really feel that that won't be an issue because how we see resellers and sellers working. There is a buildup to business, and I think keeping the cost low so people have no risk. So when new sellers come onto the site, they can spend months and not get any charges.
Yeah.
So if you come onto our site and maybe you're focusing on another part of your business, or maybe you're focusing on another site, that's
Yeah.
fine. You can still have a great presence, be live on Shoppaign, um, and
And not worry
not
about
pay
being,
anything.
yeah, not being, you're sitting over here not having to pay for it to be on your site when other places you're sitting on there and may not have any sales, but you still got to pay for the site. So
Yeah.
that is very good for somebody starting off, or even people that have been doing it for a while. Just that peace of mind is great.
Yeah. And, vacation, everyone takes
Mhm.
vacation. And so you don't have to shut anything down or turn anything off. Just go take a vacation and,
Yeah.
let everyone know that when they come to your site and to your profiles that, hey, I'll be away for a couple months.
Mhm.
You're on vacation. For service campaigns, we're half the price of most of the other. We only charge a 10% commission.
Okay. So it's just like the other places where somebody makes a sale, you can print a shipping label straight from
Yep.
your site.
You can do a shipping label. We use Shippo as our third party user, so you can choose to use our shipping or not. So it's up to you. We're giving it to you guys at our cost. We're not making more money off of it. We are just trying to build a platform for, again, the users to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good. So do you have an app? Can I go to the app store and download the app to my phone, or is it all through the desktop right now, or
Yeah,
laptop?
so we're desktop and mobile app, mobile web.
Okay.
So because it's a big site, right? People said to us, just do one thing. And
Yeah.
that's not what we're doing. We're doing the product campaigns, reseller, marketing, social media, and so we want to get it straight. So I imagine by maybe end of September, October,
Okay.
and that'll be both in the Apple Store, but we want to get it right and make sure that everything's working. I mean, the one cool thing when you're on the site is it's fast
Okay.
and it's easy to use.
All right. That sounds
And so
good.
we want to make sure that that stays the same when we get to the App Store.
Okay. That sounds real good. That's something I'm definitely going to check out, and start using the service. Sounds real good. You got anything else you want to say, Amanda, or have you covered everything that you want to say, CJ?
I think
I'll just add one more thing in. Cool thing about the profiles, when you go onto the site, and maybe in the next podcast we'll show you the live site, but we're live right now. If you go to www.shoppaign.com, you can start selling. We're live, but when you go in there and you fill out your profile, you can link to all your social media.
Okay.
And that's a great thing because people don't have to go anywhere else to find out who you are. You know, they'll go to the Resellers podcast page and see your shop there. Well, we don't have shops yet, but they're coming.
Okay.
And that's cool because you'll have shops that are going to be a lot less expensive than their competitors. But you'll be able to link to your other social media. They can just press it, opens up in a new window. They don't have to leave Shoppaign. They'll get a sense, they'll get to know who you are. And likewise, you'll get to know your seller because their profiles have the same. And we don't separate it. You don't have to choose whether you're a buyer or seller.
Okay. All right.
And so that's great because, you know, you want to see things that you want to sell, but buy things that'll be coming, collaboration, you know, collaborative commissions are coming, the shops, social media features are going to continually be enhanced. We don't have video just yet, but the video will be coming very soon.
Okay.
You know, and I would just say this to your users: we're a new site, but we're investing in you, and you know, come invest in us because really it's your community. And if anyone who's watching this podcast wants, you know, to get in touch with us and tell us what they want to see or tell us what they like, or really we want to hear what you don't like,
Okay.
because we want to fix that. And
All
we
right.
want it to be something that's good, and we're not going to get everything right. So, you know,
Yeah.
we're open book. We're here for the long haul, and
That has got to be a daunting task to start a brand new site from the floor up. I couldn't imagine the hours it's getting put in to try to get this off the ground and running and to a level you want it to be at.
sorry, 1 second. Amanda, sorry about that. Amanda
No,
can
you're good.
speak to that, but you know what, Daniel? We just close our eyes and we do it because, you know, you're going to fail,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and we are going to have some failures, and so be it. But, you know, I mean, we're dedicated and we think we have a good idea, and we're a good group of people, and you know, nothing ever looks the same from when you started to when you finished it.
Yeah, I understand. And biggest part of that is just not being scared to fail, because like you say, you know you're gonna make mistakes. Just I thought about trying to do this podcast for months before I finally was like, you know, you can kill me, but you can't eat me. So I'm gonna do it. And if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. So
There's never a perfect time. You just gotta jump in and you'll figure it out.
well, I appreciate y'all coming aboard and talking about Shoppaign with me. And it sounds good. I'm gonna definitely check it out myself. But we're at the point of the show where my show is about stories, it's about outsourcing really, but I've kind of opened it up to any kind of people that's trying to start a business or got a side hustle. Do you have anything you would like to share with the listeners about any kind of weird or funny or crazy things that's happened to you while you're trying to start this Shoppaign up?
Amanda, I mean, there's so many stories. It's kind of putting us on the spot, Daniel. Uh, we could tell the story about our logo, and you know, we have a problem with him a little bit sometimes of how he's drawn. Do you want to talk about that, Amanda?
Well, I don't know if that's really a business problem. That's a personal problem.
All right, business. You know, a business problem.
Well, Indeed, I think are we allowed to name drop the site? I just
Sure.
did.
Well, you just did. So, you know, you talk about how hard it is to start a business, and we looked at, you know, our marketing, and we're bootstrapping
Mhm.
because, you know, not a lot of investors are going to appreciate us not doing the things of maximizing revenue and tracking people on the site, and you got to do X, Y, and Z and this, because this is the way we do it, and we're not interested in doing it the same way. We want to do something different. So a lot of platforms, gig platforms like Uber and Lyft, they advertise for workers on Indeed. And so I thought, shoot, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So I looked at that, I put up something very similar, and they they sent us an email and said, you guys are unsuitable for our platform, and your account is not even is closed. No
Wow.
warning, no warning, nothing. And so I got back in touch with them. Well, I wrote back to them. I said, well, what did we do wrong? And they said they didn't give us any information. So I reached out through LinkedIn to one of the heads, and they put me in touch with the customer service. And supposedly there's a difference between marketplaces and gig workers, and we're a gig economy. And they said, you guys can't do that type of
Mm.
advertising.
Oh.
And the
Who would've
whole way
thought?
it happened, and we have a certain paranoia. I think that you probably have it as a reseller. Who's in charge?
Yeah.
Are you in charge? Who's in control?
Yeah. Definitely.
And
I
yeah,
learned a long time ago that whoever's website you type into, they're usually the one that has all the rules, and then you got to follow their rules. So you just use their platform as a platform, right? They're the boss, so you still work for them no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
not at Shoppaign. Daniel, you're your own boss at Shoppaign. And I'm saying that here live, for the public. And so if I don't
Awesome.
do it, and if we don't do it at Shoppaign, I'll get eviscerated. So
Yeah.
there you have it.
Well,
Shoppaign is your platform.
Okay.
You're in control, you're in charge, and we have to make money. So there are some rules, and we can't have anyone get sideways on us. So there are
Right.
other rules, but otherwise, tell us what we can do for you.
All right. Well, you're right. You definitely, there are rules that you have to follow, but man, it sounds good. It sounds real good. I'm gonna look into it a little bit later this evening, after I get all the yard work done and everything. But I appreciate y'all jumping on the podcast with me, and hopefully this is the beginning of a partnership, or in a beautiful friendship going forward. And look forward to see y'all being back on the show.
Yep. Thank you. We'll have to do some fishing.
Absolutely, absolutely. I went fishing. So I'm here in North Alabama. So everything, just everywhere else is grown up, and I'm trying to fly fish off the side of a bank where there's trees and moss and water plants and all kinds of stuff. I caught one fish and lost 4 flies. So I'm gonna have to try something else.
Well, we'll get you some flies for Christmas.
All right, I appreciate it. All right, but if there's nothing else, we'll go ahead and jump off right quick, and we'll get off of here. Is that good? Y'all
Sounds good.
All right, man.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
I appreciate it.